Welcome to the online overview of JaxSmartStart. We are in round 0, the time we create the tools that we will use to lead our students to an ambitious goal through meaningful instruction this year. While these plans set a foundation, we know we need to develop a sense of urgency in our classrooms through effective management and investment. In response to feedback from Jacksonville Corps members, the Jacksonville program team crafted a series of learning experiences to help support you in establishing strong classroom management and investment from day one. Our vision for these sessions was to empower your learning by offering pre-work designed to build your knowledge and skills on different subjects, so that when you came to the sessions, this time could be spent in simulated scenarios as well as critical thinking exercises, which would result in products being made that you could immediately use in your classroom. Because the TAL rubric was created from the theories of an excellent educational practice, we are rooting our JaxSmartStart course within specific areas of the rubric. We are concentrating on the TAL rubric rows of P5 and E4 in the first session, I4 in the second session, P3 and W3 in the third session, and C1 in the final session. More specifically, our goal for the first session is for you to leave with a classroom management plan in hand. This plan will be tested through simulated scenarios during the first session to ensure you feel comfortable in both the positive and negative consequences you design for your students, and you know what procedural violations will look like before the first day of school. In the second session, after you have taught for 1 week and have established classroom rules with your management plan, we are going to develop an investment plan that uses a variety of reinforcements to reach a range of your students in a compelling way towards mastery of a well-defined absolute bar and purposeful intervals, such as at the end of a unit test or when students master a particular learning goal. In the third session, after you have your students engaged through both your management and investment plans, and you are more familiar with your day-to-day routine, we are going to re-examine your planning habits as well as your personal professional alignment habits. We are going to create strategies that will increase your efficiency in planning, allowing you more time to reflect and relax. Finally, we will close JaxSmartStart with a fourth session designed to begin looking at assessments that you have given in your classroom, whether they are exams, tests, observations, quizzes, or independent practice. We are going to begin accurately noting progress and gaps for your students so that you can begin the problem-solving process, moving them closer towards their goal. So what is your job in all of this? First, access the JaxSmartStart website by typing in http://sites, Google.com into your internet browser. Then type in the username JaxSmartStart and the password teach4America. All of the typing is lowercase. Once inside, you will see the navigation bar on the left-hand side. The top part of the bar has logistical links. There is a calendar that will show you specific dates for SmartStart and session times. There is a roster where you will see the 2008 and 2009 Corps members who are in your session, and also who your session facilitator is. Finally, there is a meeting location map that, once accessed, will take you to a Google map with the meeting locations pegged. You can type in your address to get directions to your meeting location. Below the logistical information, there are session resources. When you click on a particular session, it will take you to a main page. Once at the session main page, you'll be able to watch a video about the learning goals about that session. If you're like me and you want to know where the pre-work and session objectives came from, this video will share with you the rationale behind our design. You can find the pre-work at the bottom of the page as well as the PowerPoint we will be using for the session. You will find the JaxSmartStart email address where you will email your completed pre-work, and finally you will find a link to the survey that you will complete once you are done with the session. But your job is still not done. We are asking you to engage in pre-work, and we want to make sure that you understand why. I remembered that we are deriving the measure of our success for this course from the TAL rubric, because we know the TAO rubric was created from the theories of excellent educational theory. So let's show you where I got the pre-work for this session. When I look at the TAO rubric for P5, which concentrates on creating a classroom management plan, I see the advanced proficient rows. When I read those rows, I read verbs like craft and design. If I pulled up a Bloom's taxonomy pyramid, I would see that verbs like craft and design are on the third rung, the application rung. The verbs are asking you to apply knowledge and skills that you have by crafting and designing a classroom management plan. So imagine for a moment that we were creating a 3-foot wall in a garden if we had a garden. I would start by going to Home Depot and buying 3 1-foot tall bricks and some concrete. When I got home, I would lay the first brick down and make sure that it was solid against the ground with some concrete. Then, once it was solid, that's when I would put the second brick on top and then make sure, of course, it stayed with some concrete. Once both of them were set and firm, I would then move on to putting the third brick down. I wouldn't just start, even though I might want to, with holding the third brick 3 feet high in the air and then letting go and hoping that it stayed. Now, I wouldn't do this because I know the theory of gravity would cause the brick to fall to the ground, crash, and shatter. And if I didn't know, I would find out. In the same way, we want to build a 3-foot wall of classroom management plan awesomeness in the first session of Jack's Smart Start. So we are going to be very purposeful about laying down the first brick, which for us is defining appropriate consequences. In the pre-work, you are going to read through the defining process of good classroom management consequences from Talon. Once you have this down pat, that means that the first brick is in place, and we're going to move on to putting the second brick down, which is differentiating between appropriate and inappropriate consequences. We're going to do this with a kindergarten plan, a 7th grade plan, and a high school biology plan. Again, once both of those 2 bricks are firmly in place, it is then that we are going to recall moments from our institute classroom or a first-year classroom and the results that played into these moments, so that when we come to the session, both bricks are firmly in place with concrete, so that we go to the session, we can actually design a classroom management plan and practice executing that plan with the scenarios. We don't want you to come without doing the pre-work, because then it would be just the same as holding that brick 3 feet tall in the air and letting go and hoping that it stayed. Okay, so that's probably enough about the brick analogy. Again, thank you so much for engaging with Jack's Smart Start. On behalf of the entire Jacksonville program team, we are so excited to work with you, because we know what this is going to mean for our students here in Duval County when we start laying the foundation for a sense of urgency on day 1. Thank you.